A very warm good morning to our chief guest for today, Honorable Shri Durga Shankar Prasad, IAS retired, respected faculty members, dear CEO, and dear students. Viksit Bharat 2047 is India's vision to become a fully developed nation by the year 2047, marking 100 years of independence. The ambitious roadmap aims to transform India into a global economic powerhouse, ensuring inclusive growth, sustainability, and technological advancement. We all would agree that for Bharat to become Viksit, our cities will have to play a pivotal role. Urbanization, infrastructure, sustainability, and governance will be key pillars that will define our journey towards a smarter, more inclusive, and resilient urban future. It is therefore my privilege to welcome you all to this insightful session on managing cities transformation for Viksit Bharat 2047 by our honorable chief guest for today. Shri Durga Shankar Prasad, IAS retired, former Chief Secretary of the Government of Uttar Pradesh, a distinguished leader whose vast experience in governance and policy making has contributed significantly to urban development and public administration. His deep insights into city planning, infrastructure, and governance reforms will provide valuable perspectives on the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead in the transformation of Indian cities. I have now the honor of formally introducing Sir, working as Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh for 2.5 years, the most populous state of India, Sri Durga Shankar Mishra, superannuated on 30th June 2024. He belongs to the 1984 batch of Indian Administrative Service of Uttar Pradesh cadre. He has held various senior assignments in the state and union governments covering revenue administration, internal security, vigilance, civil aviation, tourism, sports, agriculture, education and research, state taxation, medical and health, mining, and urban development. He has served as Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh for over 2 years. He was Union Secretary of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs for over 4.5 years and played a pivotal role in planning and executing various flagship urban missions, which includes Swachh Bharat Mission, Urban SBMU, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Urban Livelihood Mission, Smart City Mission, Pradhan Mantri Street Vendor Atma Nirbhar Nidhi, development of metro rails, regional rapid transport, and other urban transport systems across the country. New Parliament building and other national iconic Central Vista projects in the national capital, etc. He is a BTech in electrical engineering from IIT Kanpur. Mr. Mishra did his diploma in public policy from International Institute of Social Studies, The Hague, Netherlands. He's also done his MBA in international business from the University of Western Sydney, Australia. He has taken keen interest in promoting good governance and has published various papers on the subjects related to good governance, public administration, development administration, and housing and urban affairs in national and international journals and books. He has represented the union and state governments at various national or international fora and participated in such workshops or conferences. He has been visiting faculty in the University of Guelph, Canada. He is fond of trekking, sports, and tourism. So you can, of course, I would expect a round of applause. So this session, as you can understand by now, promises to be thought-provoking and enlightening as we delve into the strategies needed to make our cities more livable, efficient, and future-ready. So, welcome, sir.
Want me to talk from here?
So you can follow my also.
So mic is there. Can slide it?
Somebody to help you with the slides?
No, that I can do. That I can do. A very good morning to everybody. So I was told that young MBA students and some ex-servicemen, people who are here to attend this session, the next 30 to 40 minutes, I am going to give you a brief glimpse of the urbanization in the country, what is happening, how it is happening, and what is the roadmap. And then I will open the session to you for your questions and any questions. I just request you to kindly note down if you have any queries related to the management aspect, related to some innovations, some new things. Do ask me those questions. I will try to answer them in the next 40 to 45 minutes. So total session will be around 1.5 hours. I am going to start at 12. So I intend to close it by 1:30. Is that all right, Nishaji? Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Well, this is structured. I hope I had sent an article written by me. It's one of the chapters in the Viksit Bharat Governance Transformed, a book which has been brought by International Institute for Administrative Sciences and the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Governance, Public Grievances. So this book, which has been launched very recently, the 13th chapter of that I had written on the urban transformation in the country. Have you received a copy of that article?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you have already. How many of you have gone through that? Okay, few of you have also gone through it. Maybe you must have found some interesting things, what is happening in the country. For others, I will request that you should go through it because the country is going to become Viksit Bharat. How many of you have heard Honorable Prime Minister's speech on 15th August 2022? Very good, very good. A lot of you have heard that speech. If you have not, then please do hear that. That is available on the YouTube, where the Honorable Prime Minister has narrated his vision of Viksit Bharat 2047. When our country is going to celebrate its 100th anniversary of the Indian independence, that is another 20, 22, 23 years from now, we will be Viksit Bharat, a developed nation. If from our childhood we have been listening to developing India, all the time developing India, how long you will keep being developing? Now a very strong foundation has been laid in the last 1 decade, which has made it possible that India can become ambitious and it can become developed nation by 2047. That's the time when you will all be in the very prime age, 25 years from now. And as was given to you in my introduction, this Viksit Bharat means Viksit in infrastructure, very high level of infrastructure. When you say a developed nation, what does come in your mind? A nation like USA, a nation like Germany, a nation like Canada, France, something like that, or South Korea, Singapore. So this country will have that kind of infrastructure which all these developed nations have. But just infrastructure, it is not enough. It will have social infrastructure also, whether it is education, whether it is health, whether it is entertainment, all kinds of things which are required for your social, this thing that will be of that kind. The governance infrastructure. Like you must have heard about the ease of doing business. Have you heard of ease of doing business? Because there was so much of roadblocks when somebody goes for any kind of business in India. It was so difficult. Getting one clearance from any government department was so difficult. Now over the years, in the last 1 decade, there has been so much of change. But further more changes are happening. It's going to happen to make things much more simpler. You must have heard Honorable Prime Minister about Less government, more governance. The size of the government is shrinking, the governance is increasing. That is the Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat is where everybody has an opportunity to get his potential translated into actual action. So this is the Viksit Bharat for 2047, when our country will come at par with these countries which are called as developed countries. In the recent year, one country which has become Viksit, which has become developed, that is South Korea. If any of you have heard or read about the South Korea, I will suggest you to go through how South Korea was transformed into a developed South Korea. It was not so in 60s. But now any product which you take, electronics, automobile, any product, South Korea is competing with any of the best in the world. So similarly, like initially it was vocal for local, now local to global. Our products, Indian products, should be sold across the globe. That is Viksit Bharat. Our commerce, our whole economy which used to be 10th in the world, now it is 5th. And very soon we are going to be 4th, we are going to be 3rd, next only to US and China. So our GDP is going to grow. The GDP is projected to grow to say around $40 trillion economy by 2047. What is the size of the Indian economy right now? Any of you will have a guess? It's close to 4 trillion. 4 trillion. So when our economy grows 10 times to 40 trillion, you can think of the kind of prosperity. You can think of the per capita income. Because when the economy grows, it is going to be distributed among our citizens. So their quality of life is going to improve. Ease of living, how we live, what kind of things, what kind of problems we encounter, that is going to change. So I'll suggest you to kindly hear that Honorable Prime Minister's speech on 15th August 2022. Then you will get the insight of what is Viksit Bharat. And there he has also said 5 things. Panch Pran. Any of you have idea about the Panch Pran? Panch Pran? The 5 resolutions. Panch Pran. The first is Viksit Bharat 2047. That is, every citizen, we have to take a resolve that by 2047, our country will become developed nation. The second is, get out of your colonial mindset. Colonial mindset means we are not honoring, we are not respecting our own things. You feel that something which comes from outside is better than our own. That was the kind of thing. We had so many, whether it's the name of the roads, whether the name of the place, whether in our science, in the education, our Western education, everywhere is a colonial mindset. We find that they are better than ours. And that there is a lot of symbols of colonialism over the last 1,000 years when the country was in some form of the colony or the other. Foreign subjugation. That has kind of impacted our mind. We have to come out of that. Third is, we have to respect our own heritage. We have a very rich heritage. Think of our writings. Think of how India was 1,000 years back. We were the total economy. Madam is from the economics. She is a professor of economics. India's economy was almost 1/3 of the world economy. And what is the size of the economy now? Not even 3%. We were 30% of the world economy and not even 3% now. But we have to grow now. That was the Indian economy. Our heritage was so rich, but we don't respect our heritage. So you see when the COVID-19 was there, the way Ayurveda and the way yoga has helped people to save their life, the way yoga has become international, it's now practiced internationally. This is our heritage, so we need to respect our heritage. The fourth is unity. That is, we need to inclusive development. Everybody need to contribute. We cannot leave anybody undeveloped. We need to get into the national unity. That is the fourth. And the fifth is everybody has to do their job. That we have to respect our duty. This Panch Pran. Panch Pran is a corner, I mean, this is most important to make the country as a Viksit Bharat. And how will India become Viksit Bharat? The path to that is one most important ingredient of that is urbanization. And that is what I am going to talk to you in the next 25 to 30 minutes quickly, and then I'll take your questions. This is the outline. First, India's rural to urban transformation. In fact, I was sharing with Nisaji when she was in, we were traveling from the airport to this place. Last week, I was in Dhoolabira. You have heard about Dhoolabira? One of the Harappan sites. That is Indus Valley civilization. This was 5,000 years ago. This Harappan site was from 5,000 to 3,005 years ago. At that time, 100-hectare land was developed in a properly urban planned development. Whether it is the water conservation, whether it is the water cleaning of the water, drainage system, sanitation system, everything was so well planned. Think of it, 5,000 years we were so well planned. And now we find our own cities, they were not properly planned. So there was a big gap because of which we lost our own strength. That's why we need to get back to our roots and see what we were and how we can develop. And that the COVID-19 has shown that India has that kind of strength, that when the whole world was fighting, the challenges were very difficult for them to sustain. India grew as Atmanirbhar Bharat, a self-reliant India. India came with such big schemes which others can envy. So this is the strength of our own Indian heritage. See, rural to urban transition, since 2001, the rural growth was much more. But for the first time after 2011, the projected is our urban growth is much more than the rural growth. And the population, what is projected for India, even if we don't do, this is the projections coming from the experts. India's population is projected to be currently, urban population is around 45 crores, 45 to 46 crores. It was around 37 crore in 2011. And by 2051, when we have the census, it is going to be something like 88 plus crores. We are going to be majorly urban. 52 to 53% of the population is going to live in the urban area, and that too as per the definition which we give. The growth is mostly going to come into the bigger cities. The cities with a population more than 500,000, their population was only 47% in 2000. In 2000, this is projected to grow to around 60% by 2030. The cities with more than 50 million more than 5 million population, 50 lakhs population, that was only 6. That is going to go to 13. The million plus cities, the population of more than 10 lakhs, they were around 53. This is projected to go more than 150. That means the cities are going to grow. The population growth is almost 2 to 2.5%. When you compare with the rest of the world, our urban population, which I said around 45 to 46 crore, US urban population is only, if you take US, it is around 26 to 27 crores. Only country which has got more urban population than India is China, because their population is much more and our population percentage is much less. Again, what do we call urban? That is not common. There is no global definition of urban. If you take only statutory towns, statutory town means which comes through the statute. Like there is a Nagar Palika Act, Nagar Mahapalika Act. So something which comes through the statute, our population was only 26% in 2011. But there is a census town, which comes through the census of 2011, census town or outgrowth. our population was around 31.2%. But if you take other definition which other countries are following, we are as good as 70 to 80%. The definitions which are being followed in other countries. But with our kind of, it's a very conservative definition. With this definition, only we are going to cross 50% by 2050. By 2046, 47, we will be around 50%. The world over experience, if we have to go for a higher rate of economic growth, you cannot avoid urbanization. One is urbanization is a natural process. People are migrating from the rural to the urban areas in want of what is urban area, because there is more people, more opportunities for work, is a more concerted efforts. So then people are migrating from the rural to urban area. This is a natural phenomenon. But once they move, they face so many challenges. The world over the experience shows, this graph shows that as the urbanization grows, the per capita income grows, the GDP grows. So if we have to take that path of 2047, we need to urbanize. We need to urbanize. We need to urbanize in a manner so that it is not a challenge, but it's a big opportunities. This shows the percentage of GDP to the rural and urban. Our present urban percentage is almost close to 70%. It is projected to be 85% by 2030. And most of the income is going to come from the urban area, even though the population is less, but the total contribution to the GDP from the urban area is going to be much more. As we urbanize, our income grows and the poverty goes down. This graph shows very clearly. There is a demographic phenomenon. You know about the dependency ratio? Dependency ratio is the population which is dependent on those who are contributing to the income. I mean, those between say 18 to 64 years of age, they are contributing to the income. Others are dependent on them. Earlier our dependency was almost like 68%, because our age, our average survival age was almost 37 years when we got independence. That has come close to now 70 years. Our dependency ratio is less than 50%. And this is going to go there for till 2054-55. So we are going to be mostly young country. We are going to be those who are contributing are going to be much more than those who are dependent. That means we need to get some kind of opportunities for them. We need to get such opportunities for them so that they can contribute much more. They can contribute much more efficiently. We need to, that is why they skill India, the skilling. When you skill them up, they are going to contribute much more than what they do as an unskilled or underskilled. See, when urbanization, this is a common sight. Now you may recognize this because this photograph is from Bombay. This is going to be completely transformed. You know that there is a scheme which is going on. There is this whole area of this, the slums are going to be transformed. And slums have been transformed across the country. And there is a big opportunity, because slums are, people get an opportunity and they just, it's a squatter. But how can you utilize, because a land like this in the city of Mumbai is so precious, so much of opportunity is there. How can we get them move vertical so that you can utilize the land for better quality of life? We can utilize the land for giving them various other amenities and the opportunities which will take them higher on the economic or social or any front. Their quality of life will improve. So this is already going on. You see, when you urbanization is there, the first challenge is the housing. Somebody comes from the rural area. I mean, a lot of people from I come from Eastern UP. A lot of people from Eastern UP have migrated to Mumbai. Their life is very challenging. First thing they face, they live in chawl. Their quality of life goes down, even though they were having much better quality of life in their village. But because they are making much more income, they are able to sustain their family. That's why they are here. So the first challenge is the housing. Then comes your urban flooding. It was an unplanned development. The cities of Bombay, I think we are here, those who are from Bombay, they must have experienced this. Come the rainy season, you will find that so much of water logging here and there, urban flooding. In Chennai, in Gurgaon, many cities, in Bangalore, many cities you find that this has become a very common phenomenon. So unless and until you are urbanized in a proper planned manner, there's going to be big difficulty. Health disaster. The COVID was there. The various kinds of diseases related to hygiene, health, sanitation. It's a big challenge. The garbage. This is not a common sight now. This used to be there earlier. But with the Swachh Bharat mission, which has been started with the Honorable Prime Minister, now they are all the past now. A lot of things have changed, but it's still a long way to go. The congestion and the pollution. So city brings so many challenges to our life. And this reduces your efficiency. This reduces your capacity. It also causes, it breaks down your lifespan. Must have heard the conversation in Delhi. With the lungs, with the kind of AQI, air quality index of so high air quality, people are losing 10 to 12 years of life just because they are not inhaling the proper kind of air. But at the same time, when such challenges are there, this also brings good opportunities, a good quality of life. If you improve the housing, the quality of life improves. Education system, health system, your is a happy streets, various other economic opportunities, health facilities, education, various facilities. The urbanization means now things are possible because people are living in mass. And again, the principle of economics, when the large number of people there, you can do much better things with a much lesser cost. The cost goes down and you can do much better things. Now, how we have urbanized over the year. See, urban was never a priority in our planned development system, which started in 1951. First plan onwards, we did not talk about urban. We were primarily a rural country, agrarian country. And we always rejoiced, calling that I come from the rural area. I have the agriculture background and I have nothing to do with urban. Cities like Bombay, cities like Delhi or Chennai or Kolkata, these were the few cities, Guwahati, only few cities were there. In fact, people from the rural area will go to, like they are going to a foreign country. When they go to Bombay or Chennai, Madras, they are going to the foreign country. That is what the kind of feeling there earlier. From the government side, there was not, there was hardly any thinking about the urbanization. And why was this? I gave you an example of Dholavira, where so much urbanized 5,000 years back. We had, you talk of Nagar Badu, Nagar this, so many things, you find the whole conversation on Nagar. But we had lost all this. With the kind of, we always develop big port cities, we developed some important capital cities, the rest we did not even bother. But some changes started creeping in from 1970 onwards, when the first time housing became a problem, housing and infrastructure. That's how HUDCO was formed, which was part of one of the public sector enterprises under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, where I was secretary for almost 4.5 years. First time 74th constitutional amendment came, empowering the urban local bodies. Again, the work is not complete. The amendment with the funds, function and functionalities were to be totally delegated to the local bodies. Still, a lot of work has to be done there. But at least there was a beginning, 74th constitutional amendment. For the first time in 2005, must have heard about Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Livelihood Mission, NNURM. This program was started for the urban area, but it was completely ad hoc. There was no long-term planning. There was no integrated planning. What you are thinking about the cities after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. How do you want the cities to grow in? Because the cities are not at the same level. Even in Maharashtra, the cities are at different level. There is a town area, there is a Nagar Palika, there is a Nagar Nigam. They have different economic background, they have different kinds of challenges. So there was no large thinking. But yes, there was some development, some issues regarding sanitation, some issues regarding infrastructure, some issues regarding water, something or the other, something was started in an ad hoc manner. Some housing schemes were taken up in an ad hoc manner. For the first time in 2014 onwards, when Prime Minister Modi took over as Prime Minister of the country, he had a long, big vision about the country. In fact, thinking in retrospect, I can see that he was thinking of the Viksit Bharat even in 2014. When he was laying down this foundation of 2014 to 21, he was working on a long-term plan of Viksit Bharat. For the first time, urban ministry became so much in prominence. So many series of missions were launched in 2014, 15, 16. And then from 2021 onwards, saturation mode programs started. If you are doing housing, then saturate it. 100% everybody's requirement can be completed. Recently, PMAY U 2.0 was launched, and that is for saturation mode. Amrut 2.0 was launched in 2021 and I was secretary. Again, infrastructure saturation mode. SBM 2.0, it is in saturation mode. LM, National Urban Livelihood Mission 2.0, again saturation mode. So now this is a big vision because we are all working for Viksit Bharat 2047. And for that, this kind of a saturation mode 2021 onwards, the programs is started. See, this is one statement given. I was witness to this. This was the first anniversary of Smart City Mission in Pune. When the Prime Minister spoke on the first anniversary, made such a wonderful statement. I mean, I think you must read it couple of times to understand the meaning of this. See, there was a time in our country when the urbanization was considered as a problem. We were shy to say that I come from urban area. The government will say that I am investing into the rural area. But he says that he does not see as a problem, he sees as an opportunity. Why? Because the people who are coming from the rural area to the urban area, they are increasing their income. That means urban area is digesting poverty. What he's saying, the digestion power needs to be increased. It has to become much wider, much more faster. Your metabolism process needs to be improved. If that is improved, the poverty can go automatically. It's a wonderful statement Honorable Prime Minister made on, this was on 25th June 2016 in Pune. This has become like our mantra. We need to empower cities in a manner that start digesting poverty, the Indian poverty. You see, 25 crore population has gone above the poverty line. Urbanization is a major contributor to that. Because it offers so much of opportunities, whether it is education, whether it is employment, whether it is other livelihood opportunities, all kinds of things, your entrepreneurship. So this becomes a very, very important statement for all of us. This is the strategy for urban transformation. Now I'm coming on this 14 onwards, the urban transformation. The three main strategies were there. The first strategy was livability. How to improve the quality of life of those who are living in the urban area. How can you improve the quality of life? Improve the sanitation, improve the housing, improve their water, improve their sewage system, improve their livelihood opportunities. So improve the quality of life. Transport system, improve the transport system, improve the quality of life. Economic ability. Make the cities, because people are coming here not only for living. It is not a guest house, it is not a hotel, it is not a sarai. It's a place where people are coming there for better economic opportunities. To skill them up. Provide more opportunities. Whatever may be the strength of every city has got its own strength. Some cities may be textile city, some city may be education city, some city may be medical city, some city may be, every city has its own character. How to improve that character in such a way so that it starts giving much better opportunity for employability. Those who are earning say 10,000 rupees, they can start earning 50,000 rupees. How can you do that? So this is the second characteristic. The third is sustainability. Cities have also wiped off the map. Like the city of Dholavira, which used to be Harappan period, used to be such an important city. It's no more there. It's only a site to visit. City like Fatehpur Sikri, for which when Jahangir was there, the king, the Mughal king, and the British came, they said that this city is better than France, Paris and London. Now you go to Fatehpur Sikri, you'll find like a village. Why? Because they did not bother about the sustainability. Many cities have wiped off the map because of issues related to environment, climate challenges, social challenges. See, various kinds of sustainability. This is one important aspect which you need to see. And over all these three major strategies, I said there are certain programs which are there in whether it is sanitation, housing, livelihood mission, infrastructure. Now it is in saturation mode. We started in 2014 in only few, but now it is in saturation mode. 100 cities as a smart city. I'm going to dwell on them quickly, one minute on each, and then the 30 cities as the metro rail. So metro rail is now in 30 cities. Say when I joined in 2014 as a division secretary, it was there only in 5 cities. Only 240 kilometers of metro was there. But now 1,000 kilometer metros are running and another 1,000 kilometer metros are under construction. Now you know 1 crore passengers are traveling in metro every day. 1 crore. This is the size of India. This is how we progress in the last 10 years. The urban missions, quick. The gap you can see in my paper in a much better manner. This is Viksit Bharat mission. This was the first mission launched by Honorable Prime Minister in 2014, October, 2nd of October 2014. In fact, when he spoke from the ramparts of the Red Fort, and he said कि हम सबसे बड़ी श्रद्धांजलि राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी को देंगे कि जब उनका जो जन्मदिन आएगा 150th year of his birthday in 2019, India will become such open defecation free. A lot of people started questioning how that is possible. Is it possible? Now they look back and see it has been made possible. Much before 2019, country was ODF plus. So he took that big challenge. The Prime Minister took that because he had that vision. He could think of it. More than 4 crore toilets have been made. Just in urban areas, around 75 lakhs toilets have been constructed. Now we are going for much higher, better quality of toilets. And it is not only the toilet construction. Now behavioral change. People use the toilet. You don't find people defecating on the road. Now you see a behavioral change. People do not throw things on the road, on the streets. They throw it in the dustbins. Now many cities, you see the 91% of what, or now it is almost like 95%. 95% of the wards have got segregation. Your solid waste, wet and the dry solid waste, that gets segregated. And almost 80% is getting processed. It is not being thrown here and there. Now all the dumps which were there in the many cities, I'm not saying 100% has gone. But a big number of the large dumps which are like the huge hills of solid waste, causing so much of the environmental hazards, health hazards. You'll see fire, say in Delhi or in many cities. But now they are all disappeared. That's a kind of transformation. Viksit Bharat mission has brought so much of entrepreneurship. In fact, going across the country, I was seeing how the young mind, they are driving their livelihood from the west. See, any of you have gone to the Mahakumbh? Any of you have gone to Mahakumbh? This recently just concluded yesterday? No? Say when you go to Prayagraj now, you will find there is a Shivalaya. The Shivalaya is made out of kabad. See all these vehicles and machines and various other equipment which are there made of iron and various other things. Just congregating them, they have made all 12 Jyotirling, some 6 important other Shivalayas of the country, and you see, it's a place to see. If you go to Delhi, the Bharat Darshan is come from the Kabad. Nobody could have thought of this few years back. Now, reduce, reuse, recycle is part of our mantra. We have reducing our, everybody has to. We will be creating some kind of a waste, but how we reduce the creation of waste? How do you reuse it? How do you recycle it? This has become a mantra in the country. Now many cities, see, garbage-free, star-rated cities, the cities have become 7-star, 5-star, 3-star. It's a long journey to go. That is why the saturation mode 2.0 has come. By 2.0, when it ends, all the cities will become at least 3-star. All the cities are going to become ODF++. ODF++ means ODF is open defecation free. You have got enough toilets, people don't have to defecate out. But sometimes water is not there, electricity is not there, and perforce you have to go out. The proper hygiene is not there. Then you make it ODF+. And ODF++ means all that sludge which is coming, the fecal sludge, how that can be disposed of in a more safe manner, secure manner. That is ODF++. And then water plus, all this dirty water does not go to your water bodies. Rivulets or maybe ponds, maybe lakes, they don't go there. This is ODF++ and water plus. And these are the kind of targets which have been given. The Swachhta Mitra, those who are cleaning this sewer lines, now they are all following a protocol. There is a certain kind of uniform. There is a certain kind of, their life is as much important as our life. Now the government of India bothers for them, bothers for everybody now. So this is part of Swachh Bharat mission. Housing for all. Housing for all, when we assessed in 2014 when the Prime Minister made this announcement that is going to, everybody will have a house. Our initial assessment was 1 crore. Earlier to that, under JNNURM scheme, we had made sanction only 12.5 lakhs houses. And out of that, only 8.5 lakhs houses were constructed. More than 2 lakhs of houses were not even occupied. And our Honorable Prime Minister had taken a challenge of making more than 1 crore houses. People thought it was impossible. But his vision, the way he conceives things and the way he gets things executed. I have seen this as a Secretary to Government of India, the way he motivates people to get the resources together so that we are able to do that. See, today, 1.12 crore was the challenge, about the target, and 1.19 crore has been sanctioned. And out of that, some 1.14 crore has already been started. More than 90 lakhs, now it is more than 90 lakhs have been completed and they are all occupied. When you say housing means house which has got toilet, which has got water facility, which has got gas for cooking and which has got electricity. All these facilities together so that anybody who is living there, they don't face any other challenges. And across the country. It is all possible. Now for the first time, Global Housing Technology Challenge. Global Housing Technology Challenge was done and the best technologies from the world. I can speak on one subject for the whole 1 hour on this, the way we have structured this. Maybe if some questions come from there, I will dwell more upon it. Through this, we got the best technology from the world in India. Coming from, for whom? For the poor people, those who didn't have the houses. Through them, the best technology has come in India. See, affordable rental housing complexes. For the first time after almost 7.5 decades of Indian independence. This has been a challenge. And during the COVID, you must have seen it was a very common sight. People were moving from big cities to the smaller towns or their villages. Why? Because they were living in slums. They were living in a condition where chances of getting COVID was much higher. They would be better in their own villages or small towns. Because there was not facility for rental housing. This concept was never thought of before COVID. For the first time, Honorable Prime Minister got affordable rental housing complexes, and it is possible. More than 1 lakhs housing has already been constructed. And now under the PMAY 2.0, it is one of the verticals, one of the important verticals for a lot of rental housings are going to be constructed. And that is affordable rental housing, so that you get a house for 2,000 rupees or 1,500 rupees per month. You can afford it. Otherwise, you live in a slum for 5,000 rupees. And you compromise on all the comforts of your life. Maybe inside your house you have some TV or fridge, but outside you don't feel walking on the streets. But a good quality, affordable rental housing, all these changes has come because of the urban transformation. Amrut 2.0. You can't believe we didn't have enough taps in our houses in the urban areas. Forget about the rural area. For rural areas, now there is a Jal Jeevan Mission. And as the Chief Secretary, I have pursued that. We have tried to give every housing a tap, and tap with the water. Good quality water. Even in the urban area, we had that kind of challenge. Now, under the PMAY, under the Amrut scheme, already 1.9 crore taps were given. 1.5 crore new sewer connections were given. More than 1 crore lights were converted into the LED lights. It's a humongous task. But this was done. How it was done, if you ask me the question, I will get more into it. How these things were, this kind of a huge task was done. Ease of doing business. The large green spaces, almost like more than 20, almost like 21,000 acres of green spaces were created. Ease of doing business, getting your map cleared, building map cleared. It will take years. Now it doesn't take even a month. So this use of technology in a big way, how things were made possible. And this is going to be transformed. This was only for 500 cities, the first level. Now it is going to be all the cities. All nearly 5,000, 4,900 cities are going to have Amrut 2.0. It's already progressing, and our target is making the cities water secure. How to conserve water, how every drop of water can be conserved. Now for the first time, I had the privilege of launching this drink from tap 24/7 water supply. That's the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, that cities will get 24/7 water supply and drink from tap. Any tap you can open and you can drink from there. You don't require RO. The city of Puri was the first city which has got drink from tap at 24/7. Think of it, how much of change. If you have 24/7 water supply, you don't require those big storage at your house. The water supply is 24/7. You don't require that storage kind of facility. Drink from tap. You don't require that RO and other facilities. The city of Puri, if you've gone to Puri, you can drink from any tap, anywhere. Public tap or house tap, you can drink from anywhere. This is possible. Technology makes it possible. And this is the new Bharat, the Naya Bharat, which the Prime Minister says. This is the new India. And things like local area plan, town planning and the local area plan. Local area plan is a brownfield city, the city which is already there, how to make the city much more livable. And the town planning scheme, that is for the new city, the green area. This is happening across the country through various kind of strategies under this scheme of Amrut. Smart City Mission. Smart City Mission was a big challenge. Those who have followed 2014, prior to the 2014 election, Honorable Prime Minister used to say that India needs smart cities. When he gave this task to my ministry, I was Additional Secretary at that time. We didn't even know what a smart city is. But then learning from the outside, learning from cities which have become smart, we structured in 2015, June 25th, Honorable Prime Minister launched this Smart City Mission. See, when he had done a lot of work, lot of consultation. But in his speech, this is the beauty of his, his seeing things so clearly. The Smart City Mission, he just said 3 words: more from less. What is a smart city? Where you get more from less. Like you have got limited water, how can you make sure that everybody gets water as per their requirement? That means you need infrastructure and you need a layer of technology so that this infrastructure can be properly used. Prior to that, in our cities had water supply available almost 500 liter per capita, and they were supplying only 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. Why? Lot of water was leakage. Lot of water was not being managed. Water which is required is not reaching there. Now through this more from less, this concept, integrated common and control and command centers, ICCC, all 100 cities have ICCC, and which has become so much useful during the COVID-19. The states have utilized their ICCCs as their brain, their nervous system, how they can manage their resources, logistics, manage their patients. Because this is like a brain and the nervous system. The cities, if you have not seen it, I will advise that one day you can take a tour of a ICCC and see how you can see whether it is the water supply, whether it is the sanitation system, whether it is the energy system, hospitals, everything on the screen. It's a big brain and a big whole nervous system, the transport system. You know that when my bus is going to come, what time it is going to, it's all using the technology. The technology was used in a big manner. So and it was not only transforming the infrastructure, but also transforming the life of the people. Things like cycle for change. There are more use of cycling track, more use of cycles, shared cycles, the streets for the people, the streets were more walkable streets, transport for all, much more easier, bringing ease in life. Things like nurturing neighborhoods, where the neighborhoods become much better. See, various things, it is smart, transport for all these things, there are so many things which has happened in the smart city mission. And this has become now, smart city mission has become a mission to movement now. The learning from the smart city, people say that why not more 100 more cities? We have got 5,000 cities. How many cities you can say that I have a special program for smart city? No. The learning from the smart city is additional expenditure of maybe 5 to 10%, you can make things much more smarter. Bring that layer. We are anyway creating the infrastructure. For example, if you are making a road, one of the problems which Nisaji was telling me when we were coming, that on this road, there will be a lot of cutting on the road. If you make this road smart, if you make a vent in the road, you don't have to cut. Whatever facilities you want, you can take it through that. Make this road smart by creating such kind of road infrastructure where people can take rest. People, those who are aged, they can take rest, relax. They can enjoy the streets. And that is what has happened in many smart cities. And that example, that learning can be used in other places. Urban livelihood mission. This is for creating livelihood. And what is required? You require people to be trained, skilled. They have to be properly structured in a manner so that there is whether it is backward or forward linkages ensured in a manner so that they are able to use their skills for creating opportunities. See, 1 crore women across the country, they have been made part of the self-help groups. And self-help group, they are engaged in various kinds of activities. They are creating such economic activities through which they are making things which are needed for the human life. Almost like 15 lakhs people have been trained, specific trained, and they are self-employed or employed so they in some job. See, this is all big numbers coming through this urban livelihood mission. This scheme of the PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi must have a ready patri wale, those who sell sabji, say chai, pakodi, say anda, pav, things like this. Their life became so challenging during COVID. They lost, when the Honorable Prime Minister said I was the secretary at that time. When we checked, see, they were getting loan at the rate of 400%, 500%, 300% interest. In the morning you take 100 rupees loan, in the evening you have to pay 110 rupees. In one day 10%. Amounts to 3,000%. But we structured a scheme which is end to end. I mean, it's a great opportunity for me. I got this opportunity to structure this scheme, PM Street Vendor is Atmanirbhar Nidhi, through which if you take the loan, everything is digitized. Taking on right from application to final disbursement, even payment, every transaction which this street vendors are making, they are all being captured. And for every transaction, they are getting some incentive, up to 200 transactions in a month. It has been structured in such a manner that there is 7% of the interest subsidy, there is a 15%, up to 15% loans, if there is a bad loan that can be paid, and that is coming less than 5%. And getting this 1200 rupees per annum of the cashback through use of the digital transaction. Today, nearly 425 crore digital transactions happen because of street vendors. Now you go to any sabji wala, you find that he is using the UPI. The loan payment is almost 95%. Repayment is 95%. More than, almost like 70 lakhs street vendors have been benefited across the country. Now there is a second tranche and third tranche, almost like 1 crore, 93, 94 lakhs have been benefited to first tranche, second tranche, third tranche. And then there is a Swanidhi to Samriddhi. Again, the idea coming from the Honorable Prime Minister that why not take them holistically, so that everybody, if there is a child, the child is getting education. His wife is getting, she is also, if requires any kind of a skilling, why not give her skilling? Or Matra Bandhana Yojana, there is a, for the benefit for the child. Various other schemes, how to tag them. And it was done in an automatic manner, again using the technology in a big manner. Urban transport. This I already mentioned to you about how the metro journey has become stupendous journey. Coming from 5 cities to now 30 cities. From only 20 lakhs passengers were moving, now 1 crore passengers moving per day. And the biggest thing about this metro journey is we are now almost Atmanirbhar. Most of the metros, rails we were purchasing from Europe or Japan or Korea, it's now being manufactured in India. In fact, as a secretary, I used to feel so proud when somebody will tag me in tweet and say that I'm traveling on made in India car, made in India metro, from Brisbane, from Melbourne, from Montreal. Our metros are going there. Earlier it was coming from there, now it is all going from here. We are all making it global. National Common Mobility Card, for the first time, had the privilege of this. Only South Korea had the National Mobility Card. Now India has the National Common Mobility Card. You can use your debit card and credit card for moving on the metros. Now the ministry has also started e-bus seva, electric bus seva. It's a big way, because transport is the biggest challenge. And the challenge to transport is, if you can take them out of their own personal vehicle, put them on a public vehicle, on a public transport, you will find the roads will be much better place to move. And that is happening. Now in city like Delhi, almost 400 kilometers of metro is, 394 kilometer metro is there. In Mumbai, the plan is Mumbai to total metros is going to be 250 kilometers. It's all happening. And this is going to transform the city life. Various kinds of transformative steps, I leave it to you. You can see it at leisure. And you can also do some, you can go to the Google, you can see about these things. A lot of transformative activities have been have taken over this period, and that is why things were made possible. Things like RERA. Have you heard about RERA? RERA is a complete, it's a watershed moment for the real estate. Prior to RERA and post RERA. Prior to RERA, getting a housing was such a big challenge. You are promised to get for 30 lakhs and you have to ultimately end up paying 75 lakhs. You are promised to get around 1200 square feet, but actually you end up getting 80 square feet. And various challenges. The whole real estate was unregulated. For the first time, RERA, this real estate is regulated and what is promised is being delivered. Otherwise, there will be fight. So like that, so much of transformation has taken place. Model tenancy. The tenancy was completely, it was all 60s and 70s is tilted towards only the tenant and not those who are in the, those are the landlords. Our 2011 census, total housing unused in our census, the figure I am giving you, 1.1 crore. And how much was required? Almost like 1 crore. So the houses are there, but it is not getting occupied. People don't want to give it on the rent because they are not sure that it will get back to them. It is bad planning. Now this policy, the new tenancy law, ensures there is a balance of the rights of the tenant as well as the landlords. So like that, many other, this whole exercise, the GIS based master plan, many cities did not have the master plans. Why? It's a big challenge. Now we have got that all the 500 cities have got GIS based master plans. The cities are now becoming Atmanirbhar through their municipal bonds. Like that, for the first time, performance was being assessed on outcomes, not on the outputs. How much of line you have laid is not important. How many people have got the tap connection is more important. Earlier you used to say that I have made so many overhead tanks, I have made so many lines, I have made so many this, but it is not being used. So ease of living. For the first time, ease of living index was launched. For the first time, municipal performance index was launched. The municipal performance, they are being challenged, they are being adjusted against each other. Swachh Sarvechan, the cities, this you know that Swachh Sarvechan has become a very common thing which every citizen is looking for. Where my city is going to be first, fourth, 200, 2000, what is the rank of my city? Like that, this whole climate smart cities, it's a new thing. Amrit Kal Kaya Kalp. You know, Amrit Kal is 2022 to 2047. There's a golden period of Indian history after independence. In this period, how things are going to change. This is, our country is going to become $35 to $40 trillion economy. And you are all going to be working for it. You will be in the prime age, you will be in say around 40s and 50s at that point of time. Our total expenditure on urban estimated by Ernst & Young is nearly $5 trillion. How that is going to come? You see, in previous decade, total expenditure was only around $18 billion. The last decade, it has become almost 10 times of that. Or much more than 10, almost like $300 billion. But long way to go. But it is possible because our economy is growing, so it is going to grow much faster. There is a lot of hunger in the private sector, public-private partnership. So much of investment and the smart city mission, so much of money is coming from the private sector. It is all possible. So this is going to be, you see, recently in the budget announcement by our Honorable Finance Minister, you must have heard about 1 lakh crore Urban Challenge Fund. 1 lakh crore is almost like $12.5 billion. And this challenge fund added to it another, say maybe coming from the private sector, this may become $15 to $20 billion. So like that, you have to go in an innovative financing mechanism so that you are able to finance this urban requirements. This is, I've just tried to summarize our urban ecosystem for 2047. What it requires? You need to empower the governments, urban governments. See, when I visited outside, I had the opportunity to visit outside many urban like municipal corporations, etc. You find they're so much empowered. In our country, there need to be, this is one major governance change which is required. They need to go for the smart citizen-centric governance. Sustainability, the physical, social infrastructure, good quality, affordable housing, then environment and well-planned regional development. For this, in the next slides, I have given all these details. I am not going to go into this. The sustainable cities, a vibrant economic hub of the Viksit Bharat 2047. What it requires, I mean, the way it is happening, first, the rural urban connect. I mean, the way this 2047 our cities are going to go, the rural area and the urban area. Right now, the rural area, they have to migrate to the urban area because there is no facility there. Now, rural area should support the urban area should support the rural area. If that becomes much lesser population can sustain much bigger population. The economic opportunities even in the rural area is going to grow. This is going to be Viksit Bharat 2047. The climate disaster. The climate is going to be a big challenge. Urban flooding, urban heat. All these are going to be a big challenge. How to develop our urban areas so that it is disaster resilience. Inclusive amenities for ease of living. I mean, it is not only for those who are rich, but for every citizen, because everybody is contributing towards. There is a famous statement by a urban planner, Jan Gale, from Copenhagen. The cities are for the people. Cities are not for the city administrators, not for the mayor or maybe corporators. It is for the people. Cities should be citizen-centric. It should cater to the needs of the citizens. So how this can be done in an inclusive manner? Every citizen gets enough for him or her to realize his dreams, to realize his aspirations, to realize his potential in the best possible manner. A smart physical, social and the economic infrastructure. What is a smart means? To get more from less. That is use of technology in the best possible manner. How that can be done? The Center for Innovation, Manufacturing, etc. That cities are there for bringing this kind of economic opportunities. And cities are also for all kinds of innovations, all kinds of new technologies, whether it is the drone technologies or artificial intelligence, or it is the quantum computing, neural network, all these blockchain. This becomes the area where the cities provide a proper platform where the brains, the young brains can work, and they can work and come with now this with the 5G technology, how they can get into making the citizens' life much more simple. Ultimately, we have to provide ease of living. This, I had the privilege of being part of this new parliament building, because I got this opportunity. It's a great God-given opportunity for me to plan this central vista and the parliament, and also to implement that. In those 4.5 years I was secretary, this was implemented in a big way. So this is the new India, resurging new India. So I'll close it here. I don't know what is the time. Now I think I have got 35 minutes.